Stop being a victim of your own emotion. Denzel Washington motivation, Stoicism. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. William James. Imagine life as a journey, but your emotions are like an out-of-control train speeding ahead without direction. How often do you find yourself at the mercy of anger, fear, or frustration, letting them dictate your actions and decisions? It's time to take control. You don't have to be a victim of your own emotions. You have the power to become the driver of your life. So, let me ask you, will you continue letting your emotions control you, or will you seize the reins and determine your own path? In today's video on Stoic in Your Life, we'll explore how to break free from emotional turmoil, take command of your feelings, and master the art of emotional resilience. I'll share powerful principles and real-life stories to help you apply these lessons and start leading a life that reflects your true potential. Stay tuned, because your emotional mastery journey starts now. Number 1. Recognize your emotions. Mastering your emotions starts with recognizing them. Emotions are natural responses to external stimuli, but they can overwhelm us if we don't understand them. The Stoics, like Epictetus, highlighted that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Instead of labeling emotions as good or bad, simply acknowledge them for what they are, signals from within. In modern Stoicism, mindfulness plays a crucial role in observing emotions without attachment. By recognizing emotions as they arise, you create space between stimulus and response. This space empowers you to decide how to act, instead of reacting impulsively. Understanding the patterns behind your emotions is essential for mastery. Recognizing that stress leads to irritability or uncertainty, causes anxiety, helps you identify your emotional triggers. This awareness doesn't aim to eliminate emotions, but to understand them, allowing you to respond with intention. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. With this realization, you can navigate life's emotional storms with greater peace and resilience. It's important to remember that emotions are not permanent. Emotions like anger or sadness may be intense, but they are temporary, not permanent parts of your identity. This Stoic perspective on impermanence teaches us to detach from emotions without being consumed by them. With practice, you become the observer of your emotions, able to inquire, what is this emotion teaching me? This process of self-inquiry fosters personal growth and helps you understand your values and boundaries more deeply. Facing negative emotions head-on instead of avoiding them can lead to significant growth. When you feel anger, ask yourself why. Is there a boundary crossed, or are you feeling misunderstood? This deeper understanding helps to resolve underlying issues, improve communication, and set healthier boundaries. This is the core of emotional intelligence, recognizing, understanding, and using emotions to navigate life's challenges. With practice, you become better equipped to respond with intention rather than reacting impulsively. In today's world, we face constant pressures from work, family, and society, all of which can stir up strong emotional reactions. The key to not being a victim of your emotions is not to suppress them, but to approach them with wisdom. By recognizing your emotional triggers, you can prepare to face challenges calmly and with clarity. This requires active practice. Through daily reflection and mindfulness, you create emotional space to respond thoughtfully to life's obstacles. By embracing modern Stoicism, you learn that emotions are not masters over you, but opportunities for learning and growth. Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Much of our emotional pain stems from how we interpret events, not the events themselves. The more we understand and recognize our emotions, the less control they have over us. Mastering your emotions is an ongoing practice, not a one-time achievement. It requires self-discipline, patience, and the willingness to face uncomfortable emotions. Over time, you'll respond more thoughtfully, cultivate emotional resilience, and navigate life's challenges with greater ease. By applying modern Stoicism to your emotional life, you'll become the master of your emotions, leading to a life filled with peace, wisdom, and fulfillment. Number 2. Don't let emotions control you. One of the most empowering things you can do in life is to stop letting your emotions control you. It's easy to be swept away by the waves of anger, fear, frustration, or sadness when life presents challenges. But true strength comes from the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response, rather than reacting impulsively to whatever emotions arise. In those moments when your feelings surge, a pause, however brief, gives you a powerful opportunity to decide how to move forward, grounded in clarity rather than in a knee-jerk reaction. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." This statement underscores the idea that it's not the emotions themselves that cause harm, but how we respond to them. When we're caught up in a rush of emotions, it's typically because something in our environment or within ourselves has triggered an immediate reaction. Emotions, however, are not orders that demand compliance. They are signals, clues that indicate what's going on beneath the surface. Understanding this can transform the way you approach difficult situations. For example, if you feel the fire of anger rising, instead of letting it burst out uncontrollably, ask yourself, why am I angry? Digging into the root cause of that emotion can help you to clarify whether your response is proportionate or if it's based on a misperception. In modern life, this emotional intelligence is invaluable, whether you're navigating a stressful work environment, handling personal relationships, or dealing with the daily frustrations that often seem to crop up out of nowhere. This shift from reacting automatically to responding thoughtfully doesn't mean suppressing or denying your emotions. On the contrary, it's about embracing them fully, acknowledging them, but taking the time to consider what action is most aligned with your values and long-term goals. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, emphasized this concept when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom reminds us that emotional mastery is less about denying feelings and more about choosing how to act in a way that serves our deeper purpose. When you respond with awareness and intention, you not only stay grounded, but also gain the ability to navigate life's challenges without being swept away by them. In practice, emotional control helps you avoid hasty decisions and the regret that often follows impulsive actions. It's easy to react emotionally in the heat of the moment, whether that's snapping at a colleague, yelling at a loved one, or making a decision you'll later wish you hadn't. But when you take the time to pause and center yourself, you can approach these situations with more poise, patience, and clarity. In a professional context, for example, responding thoughtfully to criticism, rather than reacting defensively, can foster respect and help you grow. In your personal life, taking a moment to process your feelings before addressing an issue can prevent unnecessary conflict and create more productive conversations. The real power lies in transforming your emotions into a source of energy and motivation. Emotions like frustration, anxiety, or sadness, while uncomfortable, don't have to derail you. Instead, you can channel that energy into productive action. For instance, rather than allowing frustration to consume you, use it as fuel to sharpen your focus and determination. If anxiety creeps in before a major presentation or event, you can use that energy to prepare thoroughly and perform at your best. In modern Stoicism, this idea is central: to transform our internal states into outward actions that support our purpose and values. By mastering your emotions, you no longer let them control you. Instead, you gain the ability to direct them in ways that serve you, your goals, and the world around you. Emotional control is not about becoming cold or indifferent, but about living intentionally. It's about having the freedom to choose your actions rather than letting your emotions dictate your behavior. This leads to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. As Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "He who is brave is free." By mastering your emotions, you liberate yourself from the turmoil of reactive living, enabling you to respond with purpose and wisdom. Through modern Stoicism, we learn that our true power lies not in controlling our circumstances, but in controlling how we react to them. This practice of emotional discipline is what ultimately leads to inner peace and the strength to face any adversity with grace and resolve. Number 3. Shift your mindset. Shifting your mindset is one of the most powerful tools you can use to take control of your emotions and your life. It's easy to feel like you're a victim of your emotions, like there's something that happens to you beyond your control. But in reality, your emotions are largely shaped by your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions. By changing the way you think, you can change how you feel, and in turn, how you react to life's challenges. Think about it. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. If your lens is clouded by negativity, fear, or self-doubt, you'll feel overwhelmed by life. But if your lens is clear, focused on solutions and growth, you can face any challenge with confidence and resilience. This is one of the Stoic secrets that can empower you. You always have the ability to control how you respond to situations, no matter how difficult they seem. A key part of shifting your mindset is learning to focus on solutions, not problems. It's easy to fall into the trap of fixating on what's going wrong or what isn't working. But when you do that, you only amplify your feelings of helplessness and frustration. So ask yourself, what can I do next to improve this situation? Instead of dwelling on the setback, you're focusing on what you can control. This simple shift in thinking moves you from a place of defeat to a place of progress. It's about recognizing that every challenge, no matter how difficult, offers an opportunity to move forward. Think about any successful person you admire, whether it's someone like Denzel Washington or a mentor in your own life. They didn't get where they are by seeing failure as a roadblock. They saw it as a stepping stone. This is another powerful part of shifting your mindset, embracing failure as a learning experience. So often we view failure as something to avoid, something that reflects our incompetence. But the reality is, failure is often our best teacher. When you make a mistake, you learn. When something doesn't go as planned, you grow. Every setback carries with it a lesson that helps you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So instead of feeling discouraged when things don't go your way, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When you start seeing failure as part of the learning process, your emotional response shifts from defeat to determination. That's a mindset that will carry you forward time and time again. Another crucial part of shifting your mindset is learning to live in the present moment. Too often we spend our energy either worrying about the future or regretting the past. This constant mental juggling creates stress, anxiety, and emotional turmoil. But by focusing on what's in front of you in this very moment, you can reclaim your power. You stop worrying about things beyond your control, and you focus on what you can do now. It's not easy, of course. It takes practice, especially in a world that's always pulling your attention in a million different directions. But practices like mindfulness and meditation can help you stay grounded in the present. By doing this, you give yourself the clarity and calm to respond to life's challenges with confidence and poise, rather than being overwhelmed by them. Have you ever caught yourself worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet? Maybe you've been anxious about an interview, a presentation, or an important decision. How many times has that worry actually helped you? Most of the time, it only makes things harder. But when you focus on what you can control right now, you begin to release the unnecessary weight of anxiety. Shifting your mindset is about recognizing that you always have a choice in how you interpret your circumstances. You have the power to decide how you see the world, how you approach challenges, and how you respond to setbacks. When you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. And when you change your feelings, you change your actions. This is one of the most empowering Stoic secrets, the ability to choose how you think and how you act in any situation. By adopting a mindset that focuses on growth, solutions, and learning, You not only gain better emotional control but also set yourself on a path to greater success and fulfillment. Ask yourself this: if you had the power to change how you think about a challenge you're facing right now, how would that change your emotions and your actions? How would you feel if you could see every setback as an opportunity to grow, rather than a reason to feel defeated? The Stoic mindset doesn't guarantee an easy life, but it does guarantee a life where you are the one in control of your emotions and responses. So take charge of your thoughts, shift your mindset, and watch how your life begins to transform. The power is within you, always. Do you believe that recognizing and understanding your emotions can help you take control of them, instead of letting them conquer? Number 4. Take responsibility for your emotions. Taking responsibility for your emotions is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. In a world filled with distractions and external pressures, it's easy to blame others or circumstances for how we feel. However, the truth is that we control our emotional responses. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." This highlights how our perception shapes our emotions. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you realize that no one can make you feel a certain way. Your emotional state is a reflection of how you interpret and respond to the events and people around you. Once you understand that your emotional reactions are within your control, you can choose how to respond, empowering you to navigate life with clarity and resilience. A key aspect of emotional responsibility is recognizing that your reactions often stem from your personal beliefs and expectations. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your anger isn't caused by the other driver, but by your belief that people should follow the rules. Once you realize that your emotional response is tied to your own expectations, you can shift your perspective. This self-awareness allows you to take control of your emotions by adjusting your thoughts. Modern Stoicism teaches that by changing our mindset, we can change our emotional responses. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By changing how we think, we take responsibility for our emotional experiences and free ourselves from being controlled by external circumstances. Emotional responsibility also involves self-regulation. This means recognizing when your emotions are overwhelming you and taking steps to regain control. It's not about suppressing feelings but acknowledging them and managing them effectively. For instance, if you feel anger rising, instead of acting impulsively, you could take deep breaths, step away from the situation, or engage in an activity that helps you refocus. Emotional self-regulation is vital for maintaining composure in difficult situations and ensuring your actions align with your values, not fleeting emotional impulses. By practicing self-regulation, you create a space between your feelings and reactions, which allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Importantly, taking responsibility for your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means acknowledging your feelings without judgment and allowing yourself to experience them fully. The Stoics didn't advocate for denying emotions, but for accepting them as part of being human. By accepting emotions like anger or sadness, you can process them more effectively. Instead of pretending they don't exist, you confront them directly and explore what they are teaching you about your boundaries and needs. This self-reflection cultivates emotional intelligence and provides valuable insights for personal growth. Seneca famously said, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." By facing our emotions head-on, we learn to navigate them, gaining mastery over ourselves. When you take responsibility for your emotions, you stop being a passive victim of external events and become an active participant in your life. Instead of letting your emotional reactions dictate your decisions, you take charge of your responses. This shift is empowering, as it enables you to align your actions with your deeper values and long-term goals. If you value calm and clarity in difficult situations, taking responsibility for your emotions helps you act in a way that reflects these values, rather than letting frustration or fear control your behavior. This reflects a key principle of modern Stoicism. While we can't control external events, we can control how we respond to them. By taking responsibility for your emotions, you gain control over your life and create a foundation for peace, wisdom, and fulfillment. Taking responsibility for your emotions is a lifelong practice of self-awareness, self-regulation, and growth. It requires patience and a willingness to face difficult emotions without being overwhelmed by them. The more you practice, the more control you gain over your emotional landscape. You stop being a passive observer of your feelings and become the master of your emotional life. By embracing modern Stoicism, you develop tools to confront life's challenges with poise and intention. You learn to navigate life's ups and downs by understanding and managing your emotions, which enhances your overall well-being. This practice empowers you to live intentionally, respond with wisdom, and build emotional resilience. By taking responsibility for your emotions, you stop being a victim of them and start living in alignment with your highest values and goals. Number 5. Use emotions as motivation. Taking control of your emotional life means learning to transform your emotions into motivation rather than allowing them to dictate your actions. Emotions often seem like disruptions, but they can become powerful forces for change when channeled effectively. Anger, for instance, can be a destructive emotion if allowed to control you, but when directed purposefully, it can fuel positive change. As Denzel Washington puts it, you get out what you put in. Anger can motivate you to advocate for yourself or others, push through challenges, or seek justice. Instead of letting anger overwhelm you, use it as a signal that something important is at stake. This energy can drive you to act decisively and create meaningful change, not by suppressing anger, but by focusing it on a productive course of action that aligns with your values. Fear, too, often perceived as a paralyzing emotion, can serve as a powerful motivator. Fear usually arises when we are on the brink of something significant, something that demands growth. Rather than retreating, use fear as a tool to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Fear of failure or the unknown can drive you to work harder, learn new skills, or persist when challenges arise. In modern Stoicism, fear is not viewed as an obstacle, but as a sign that you're moving in the right direction. As Seneca wisely stated, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. By embracing fear as part of the growth process, we transform it into a motivating force that propels us toward success. Even sadness, often seen as debilitating, can become a motivator for change. Sadness often points to unmet needs or unresolved pain, and acknowledging it can give you the clarity to make necessary changes. Whether you're grieving a loss or feeling a sense of emptiness, sadness can prompt you to reflect on what matters most and inspire you to take action. Instead of succumbing to despair, use sadness as a springboard for personal growth. It can push you to set new goals, seek support, or live more authentically. As Marcus Aurelius noted, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By embracing sadness, you turn it into an opportunity for transformation, using it to propel you toward a more fulfilling life. The ability to use emotions as motivation is crucial in reclaiming control over your life. In today's world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by emotions that seem to appear without warning. However, by learning to recognize and channel these emotions, you turn them from passive experiences into active forces that drive you forward. Whether it's anger, fear, or sadness, once you understand how to use emotional energy effectively, you gain the power to take consistent, positive action toward your goals, regardless of obstacles. In modern Stoicism, emotions are not seen as enemies, but as sources of information that, when understood, can help guide us toward better decisions and greater resilience. Emotions are neither good nor bad. They are signals that reveal something deeper within us. They point to our values, desires, and struggles. By recognizing what our emotions are trying to tell us, we can transform them from obstacles into opportunities for growth. The Stoic ideal is not to suppress emotions, but to understand and direct them toward productive action. Emotions become the raw material for building a life that is aligned with our values, intentional, and meaningful. By mastering your emotions in this way, you not only achieve your goals but also cultivate peace of mind, knowing that you are in control of how you respond to life's challenges. As Epictetus wisely put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Through the lens of modern Stoicism, emotions are no longer obstacles but invaluable tools that shape the direction of our lives. Number 6. Lessons from successful people. Success is rarely a matter of luck. More often, it's the result of how we manage our emotions. If you look at the lives of high achievers, you'll see that their success isn't due to being immune to negative feelings. Rather, it's because they've learned to harness the power of their emotions rather than being controlled by them. They don't let emotions like fear, frustration, or anger dictate their choices. Instead, they practice emotional intelligence, making deliberate decisions even when faced with setbacks. Think about it. How many times have you let your emotions control your decisions, only to regret it later? What if you could take a step back and make better choices? This is one of the key Stoic secrets successful people use. They've mastered the art of emotional resilience. Life will always throw obstacles in your path, and the ability to bounce back after failure is what separates the successful from the rest. Successful people understand that challenges and setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. They don't let themselves stay stuck in negative emotions like fear or disappointment. Instead, they use those emotions as fuel to push forward. Every time they fall, they learn, adapt, and rise again with even more determination. Isn't that powerful? When was the last time you used a failure as an opportunity to grow instead of letting it keep you down? This shift in mindset is a Stoic secret that can transform how you view adversity. Another valuable lesson from successful people is self-awareness. Top performers know themselves well. They recognize their emotional triggers and understand how their feelings impact their decision-making. They know when to take a step back from a stressful situation or when they need a break to regain focus. Emotional awareness allows them to prevent being hijacked by stress, anger, or anxiety, and it enables them to make clear, rational decisions even under pressure. Ask yourself, do you know what triggers your emotional responses? Are you able to recognize when your emotions are clouding your judgment? If you're not sure, developing self-awareness can be a game changer. Self-awareness is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding them so you can choose how to respond. Successful people also practice emotional discipline, which doesn't mean denying your feelings, but exercising restraint before acting impulsively. Imagine you're in a heated argument, or you're facing a major challenge at work. Your first reaction might be to lash out or give in to frustration. But successful people know the power of pause. They take a moment to reflect before reacting. That brief pause allows them to consider their feelings, their motivations, and the best course of action that aligns with their long-term goals. How many times have you acted impulsively and then wished you had handled things differently? Emotional discipline gives you the space to make better decisions and avoid those regrettable moments. Finally, there's the power of optimism. While self-doubt, fear, and insecurity are natural, successful people don't let those feelings paralyze them. Instead, they stay optimistic, focusing on what they can control and keeping their eyes on the future. Optimism is not about ignoring difficulties. It's about believing that there is always a way forward, even when things seem impossible. When you adopt this mindset, you stop dwelling on obstacles and start looking for solutions. Can you think of a time when your optimism helped you get through a tough situation? Maybe you were facing a difficult project at work or an unexpected personal challenge, but your belief in a positive outcome kept you moving forward. That's the power of an optimistic mindset. It's like a light guiding you through the dark. In conclusion, the lessons we can learn from successful people are timeless. They teach us that emotional resilience, self-awareness, emotional discipline, and optimism are not just traits of high achievers. They are habits anyone can cultivate. By practicing these Stoic secrets, you can learn to manage your emotions more effectively, make better decisions, and ultimately, stay on the path to success, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. What would happen if you started to see your challenges as opportunities to grow? What would it feel like to choose optimism over fear, emotional discipline over impulsive actions? These are the questions that can transform your life. If you agree that taking responsibility for your emotions is empowering, drop a simple, "taking responsibility for your emotions," in the comments. Be sure to stick around until the end. There are 3 surprising insights. You won't want to miss them. Number 7. Act now. In life, one of the most empowering things you can do when dealing with your emotions is to take immediate action. Too often, we let our emotions, fear, anger, or stress, paralyze us into inaction, allowing tension and unresolved feelings to build. As Denzel Washington reminds us, you don't get what you want. You get what you negotiate. The same principle applies to emotions. Acting now helps break the cycle of overthinking, bringing clarity and momentum to face emotional challenges. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you act, the obstacle transforms into an opportunity for growth. Emotional mastery begins with self-awareness. Recognizing the emotions that drive your behavior is crucial. Without awareness, emotions can control us. But when we take time to understand what triggers our emotional responses, we can better manage them. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather acknowledging and understanding them before they overwhelm us. If you know certain people or situations trigger anxiety or anger, you can prepare in advance or avoid them. This aligns with modern Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what's within our control and to respond wisely to each moment. Equally important is identifying your emotional triggers, those situations, people, or words that provoke strong reactions. Recognizing these triggers allows us to develop strategies to manage them. It's like learning to anticipate a storm. When you know what sets you off, you can pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively. As Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." True freedom lies in controlling our responses, not being controlled by emotion. In modern life, even the smallest decisions can significantly influence our emotional state. Though seemingly insignificant, these choices can have a profound impact. For example, pausing before reacting to a stressful situation provides the necessary space to regulate emotions. This small act of restraint can create a more thoughtful, controlled response and help you develop emotional resilience. The Stoics believed in the power of choice and self-control, emphasizing that while we can't control external circumstances, we can control our responses. Consistent practice is essential for long-term emotional mastery. Like any skill, emotional regulation requires ongoing effort. It's not about denying emotions, but finding a balance between acknowledging them and acting in alignment with our values and goals. Regular practice strengthens emotional resilience, making it easier to stay calm in challenging situations. As the Stoics taught, it's not the external circumstances that determine our peace, but our response to them. By practicing emotional self-control daily, we shape our own emotional well-being. Acting now means not letting emotions control your decisions. By developing self-awareness, identifying triggers, making mindful decisions, and practicing self-control daily, you can master your emotions and move toward a more balanced, purposeful life. The key is to not let your feelings dictate your actions, but to use them to fuel your higher goals. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Start acting now and reclaim control over your emotional responses, shaping your life with the wisdom and resilience that modern Stoicism offers. Number 8. Learn from failure. Failure is often viewed negatively, as a sign of our shortcomings or mistakes. However, successful individuals understand that failure is not only unavoidable, but a necessary part of growth. Modern Stoicism teaches us that failure should not be feared or avoided, but embraced as a powerful tool for personal development. As Denzel Washington wisely states, "You get out what you put in." This applies to failure as much as it does to success. Every successful person, whether in business, sports, or life, has encountered setbacks. What sets them apart is their ability to see failure not as a roadblock, but as a lesson that informs their future actions. By shifting your perspective and using failure as an opportunity for growth, you can develop resilience and confidence that will help you overcome life's challenges. The key to understanding failure is recognizing it as part of the journey to success. Each failure provides valuable insights into what didn't work, giving you the chance to make adjustments and approach future challenges with better strategies. This mindset is essential in modern Stoicism, which teaches us to accept what we cannot control while learning from what we can. Successful people do not view failure as the end, but as part of the process. Every failure is feedback: what went wrong, why it happened, and most importantly, what you can learn from it. In these moments, failure becomes a teacher that helps refine your methods and leads you toward success. Failure can also ignite a drive to work harder and smarter. Emotions like disappointment, frustration, and anger are natural after a failure, but rather than letting these emotions define you, they can be channeled into motivation. Failure sparks the desire to prove to yourself and others that you can do better. In moments of vulnerability, you often find your greatest drive to improve. The pain of failure pushes you to reevaluate your strategies, seek new solutions, and commit to learning. This is the heart of resilience, the ability to turn negative emotions into the fuel for personal growth. As Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By using failure as a springboard for action, you set yourself on the path to success. Transforming failure into success requires a mindset that embraces setbacks rather than avoiding them. Viewing failure as valuable feedback can change how you approach challenges. Each failure offers the chance to ask critical questions. What didn't work? What will I do differently next time? These reflections lead to deeper understanding and personal growth. In fact, failure often provides the clearest lessons, not just about what didn't work, but about what will work in the future. Each failure refines your methods and sharpens your skills, ultimately bringing you closer to your goals. The Stoic principle of amor fati, or love of fate, teaches us to embrace all of life's experiences, including failure, as essential to our journey. Persistence is essential when overcoming failure. The natural reaction to a setback is often discouragement, but it's persistence that separates those who succeed from those who give up. Failure is not final unless you allow it to be. Every failure is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Resilience, built through repeated attempts and continual improvement, is crucial for long-term success. Each time you rise after a fall, you develop the emotional strength needed to face future challenges. Persistence is key. It's not the failure that defines you, but how you respond to it. By continuing to move forward despite setbacks, you cultivate the emotional fortitude necessary for lasting success. Failure is not an end, but a beginning, an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. Embrace failure as a learning experience and use it to fuel your motivation, building resilience and emotional strength. The most successful people are those who don't shy away from failure but learn from it and use it to propel their progress. This mindset, rooted in modern Stoicism, helps you achieve your goals with purpose and self-awareness. Failure, when properly understood, becomes a valuable ally in your journey toward success. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward with wisdom and determination. Number 9. Trust the process. In a world where we expect instant results, trusting the process can feel difficult. We want quick outcomes, and when progress doesn't show up right away, it's easy to become discouraged. But emotional growth, like any valuable pursuit, takes time. It's not a race. It's a journey. Understanding that progress happens in small, incremental steps is one of the most powerful tools you can have for mastering your emotions. Think about how many times you've felt frustrated because things weren't happening fast enough. But what if I told you that every small effort you make consistently is pushing you toward significant change? This is one of the Stoic secrets to emotional resilience. You don't need to see immediate results to know you're moving in the right direction. You just need to keep going. Much like physical fitness, emotional mastery requires regular practice. You can't build muscle or stamina by working out once a week for 5 minutes. Similarly, mastering your emotions doesn't happen overnight. It takes consistent effort, patience, and persistence. Whether it's learning to manage stress, conquering fear, or building resilience, every small victory adds up. You may not see immediate results, but that doesn't mean your efforts aren't making an impact. So why do we get discouraged when progress seems slow? It's easy to fall into this trap, especially in a fast-paced world where we expect quick outcomes. But trusting the process means understanding that growth is gradual. Sometimes it may feel like you're stuck or even going backward, but if you continue applying yourself, believing that every small step counts, you'll eventually see improvement. Think about how you handle your emotional responses. Maybe today you didn't react as impulsively in a stressful situation as you did yesterday, or perhaps you paused before reacting to a comment that used to set you off. These seemingly small shifts are the foundation of emotional mastery, and over time they compound into meaningful change. Can you recall a time when you made a small shift in your reactions and it led to a better outcome? Maybe you stayed calm in a meeting or chose patience over frustration in a difficult conversation. These moments matter more than you think. Another key to trusting the process is embracing the journey itself. Too often, we focus only on the destination, the end result. But the real value lies in the lessons you learn along the way, the challenges you face, and even the setbacks. Emotional growth is rarely linear. Every obstacle, failure, and triumph along the journey shapes you into a more emotionally resilient person. Have you ever wished for an easier path, only to realize later that the struggles were exactly what you needed to grow? The process itself holds the value, not just the outcome. Each challenge you face and overcome strengthens your emotional resilience. This is where patience is crucial. Emotional growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. As you embrace the journey, you'll see how even small steps lead to greater emotional strength. Consider the story of a runner preparing for a marathon. At first, the runner struggles to complete just a few miles. But with each day, they push through discomfort, building endurance and strength. By the end of their training, they don't just finish the marathon, they achieve a personal best time. This journey wasn't easy, and it didn't offer instant rewards. The runner trusted the process, believing that the small improvements would eventually lead to success. You're on the same path with your emotional growth. Each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to mastering your emotions. Trusting the process is vital for emotional growth. It requires patience, persistence, and faith in your ability to evolve. Remember, every small step you take, whether it's responding calmly to stress or pausing before reacting, adds up. Over time, you will see the results of your efforts. Keep trusting the process, embrace the challenges, and understand that every step is part of your growth. And most importantly, never forget that every small victory moves you one step closer to emotional mastery. What small steps can you take today to trust your emotional process and embrace the journey? Keep moving forward, knowing the results will follow. How do you handle your emotional response when faced with setbacks? Do you act immediately to overcome the challenge, or do you take time to reflect first? Comment: act immediately if you believe action will help, or reflect if you prefer to reflect before acting. And be sure to watch until the end. There are 3 helpful tips waiting for you that will surprise you and help you take control of your emotions even more. Number 10. Gratitude and positivity. Gratitude and positivity are powerful tools for emotional balance and well-being. In a world that often focuses on what's missing or going wrong, practicing gratitude helps shift our attention to what's going right, which can profoundly impact our emotional state and sense of fulfillment. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Gratitude redefines how we perceive life, prompting us to focus on what we have no matter how small. A simple act of appreciation, whether for a kind word or a peaceful moment, shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance. This shift in focus doesn't just improve our mood, it reshapes our emotional experiences, reducing stress, anxiety, and negativity, while promoting contentment and inner peace. The real power of gratitude lies in its ability to reframe our thoughts. In times of hardship, it's easy to dwell on what's wrong, but practicing gratitude teaches us to focus on what's going well and what we've accomplished. This shift toward a mindset of abundance builds emotional resilience, enabling us to handle challenges with greater strength. As Marcus Aurelius noted, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By focusing on the positive, even amid adversity, we begin to rewire our brains toward optimism, which not only boosts our mood, but also improves our relationships and enhances our ability to succeed in all areas of life. Moreover, positive emotions are closely tied to productivity and success. It's not just about feeling good. Positivity drives real-world achievements. Research shows that gratitude fosters optimism, which fuels motivation, creativity, and perseverance. When we practice gratitude, we start seeing obstacles as opportunities for growth instead of barriers. We think more creatively, take decisive actions, and persist despite setbacks, all of which align with the principles of modern Stoicism, focusing on what we can control and accepting what we can't. By cultivating a positive mindset, we empower ourselves to act confidently even when life isn't perfect. Gratitude also acts as a buffer against stress. In challenging times, negative thoughts can overwhelm us, but practicing gratitude helps shift our attention away from worries and back to the present moment. Regularly acknowledging what we're thankful for cultivates emotional regulation, helping us stay calm and composed in the face of adversity. The Stoics believed that true power lies not in controlling external events, but in mastering our reactions. Gratitude allows us to focus on our internal responses, making it an invaluable tool for emotional stability. A mindset rooted in gratitude also enhances resilience. When we focus on the good, even during difficulties, we become better equipped to handle life's challenges. Resilience isn't about ignoring problems but choosing to focus on solutions. By training ourselves to maintain a positive outlook, we bounce back from setbacks with greater strength and clarity. As Seneca wisely said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Acknowledging our challenges while focusing on the positives helps us navigate adversity with purpose and determination. Gratitude and positivity are essential for emotional mastery and resilience. Shifting our focus to what's good in life enhances not only our emotional well-being, but also our ability to thrive in a chaotic world. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. By practicing gratitude daily, we cultivate a sense of agency and empowerment, transforming our emotional state and strengthening our capacity to succeed, find peace, and navigate challenges with confidence. So whenever you feel overwhelmed by negativity, pause and reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple practice can change your perspective and lead you toward emotional and mental mastery. Number 11. Confidence and strength every day. Confidence and emotional strength are not innate traits but qualities that can be developed through consistent practice and emotional mastery. Modern Stoicism teaches that mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing them, but about understanding and managing them so you can make rational decisions. As Seneca wisely said, We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, showing how our emotions often distort our view of situations. By practicing emotional control, you start to see yourself as capable and resilient, which gradually builds your self-confidence. This creates a cycle. The more confident you become, the better you manage your emotions and the stronger you grow. One crucial way to build confidence is by actively managing your emotional responses. When you remain calm during challenges, you naturally become more resilient. Emotional mastery allows you to approach problems with a clear mind, which strengthens your confidence. While this skill doesn't develop overnight, with regular practice, you'll be able to face adversity with greater clarity. This shift in your emotional state fosters a positive loop where managing emotions leads to confidence, and confidence enhances your emotional control. In today's fast-paced world, stress and uncertainty are constant, but adopting a Stoic mindset helps you meet these challenges with resilience. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants, as Epictetus reminds us, highlighting how emotional control frees us from anxiety and fear. Another way to build confidence is through decisive action. Fear and doubt often hold us back, causing hesitation and inaction. But by taking steps, even imperfect ones, you create momentum. Every action, regardless of the outcome, strengthens your belief in your ability to navigate life's uncertainties. The more you act, the more you learn, and the more emotionally resilient you become. In Stoicism, there is the principle of prohairesis, the power of choice. By exercising this ability, you shape your own path. Moving forward, despite uncertainty, builds both competence and emotional strength. Embracing imperfection is also crucial to developing confidence. Perfectionism often leads to self-doubt and stagnation. Striving for perfection can prevent you from acting, causing unnecessary stress. Confidence grows when you accept that growth is a lifelong journey. Modern Stoicism teaches that setbacks and mistakes aren't failures, but opportunities for improvement. When you focus on personal growth rather than unattainable perfection, you allow yourself to move forward, flaws and all. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This perspective encourages us to view imperfection not as an obstacle, but as an integral part of the journey toward greater strength. In addition, knowing and leveraging your strengths is a powerful tool for building confidence. Self-awareness allows you to recognize your unique capabilities and approach challenges with clarity and assurance. By focusing on your strengths, you can handle difficult situations more effectively and learn to trust your abilities. This confidence stems not from comparing yourself to others, but from acknowledging your personal strengths. This aligns with the Stoic idea of eudaimonia, flourishing by living in harmony with your strengths and virtues, which brings true happiness and fulfillment. Confidence and emotional strength are cultivated through emotional mastery. By controlling your emotions, making decisive choices, accepting imperfections, and focusing on your strengths, you build the resilience needed to face any challenge with confidence. Every day is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional core and overcome doubt. This approach to confidence, rooted in modern Stoicism, teaches us that true strength comes not from external factors, but from within. As Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it," urging us to use our emotional strength wisely. Confidence is not something we are born with. It's something we build, and through consistent effort, it becomes the foundation for a life well lived. Number 12. Never give up. In life, adversity is inevitable. We all face setbacks, emotional roller coasters, and moments where it feels like success is just out of reach. But one of the most important lessons to remember when you're struggling is this: never give up. Persistence is the key to overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals, and it's not about avoiding failure or negative emotions. It's about pushing forward despite them. Life will test you. That's a given. But it's your ability to keep going no matter how tough the journey that ultimately determines your success. Think about the most successful people you know. They didn't get to where they are by quitting when things got tough. They kept moving forward, even when the path was unclear and the challenges were overwhelming. This is one of the Stoic secrets. You don't let failure or emotions define you. Instead, you make the choice to press on. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Struggles are what build resilience and emotional strength. Imagine for a moment how many times you face something difficult, only to look back later and realize how much stronger it made you. This is exactly how emotional growth works. Through struggle, you develop the emotional intelligence to handle future challenges more effectively. You learn how to navigate stress, disappointment, and uncertainty with more clarity and calm. And it's this ability to keep going in the face of adversity that leads to long-term results. Success doesn't come overnight, and neither does emotional growth. It takes time and effort, but those who persist even when progress is slow are the ones who eventually see meaningful change. So, ask yourself, when faced with difficulty, do you give up too quickly? Or do you keep going, trusting that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal? Persistence isn't just about pushing through the hard times. It's about creating lasting habits. The more you commit to your goals and stay persistent, even when emotions like frustration or doubt try to hold you back, the stronger your resilience becomes. Emotional strength is not built in moments of ease. It's forged in times of hardship. When you keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it, you develop habits that support long-term success. These habits become your foundation, and over time, they help you stay focused on your values and long-term aspirations, regardless of the emotional turbulence you may face. Think about a time when you stuck with something, despite the challenges. Maybe it was a difficult project, a personal goal, or a tough conversation. The more you persisted, the stronger your resolve became, didn't it? On the flip side, giving up closes the door to growth and opportunity. The only true failure in life is quitting. Every time you give up, you prevent yourself from growing, learning, and improving. You rob yourself of the chance to build resilience, to learn from your mistakes, and to emerge stronger. But when you persist, no matter how hard things get, you open the door to countless possibilities. You allow yourself to heal, to grow, and to achieve success. Just think about it. How many times have you been ready to quit, only to push through and discover that success was just around the corner? What would have happened if you'd given up instead? The truth is, persistence is often what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's the difference between giving up on your dreams and making them a reality. One of the most essential ingredients for emotional growth and success is persistence. When you face challenges, embrace them as opportunities for growth. Keep pushing forward, even when the going gets tough, and build habits of resilience that will serve you for a lifetime. The road to success is rarely smooth, but it's the people who never give up, no matter the obstacles, who ultimately achieve their dreams. So, remember, persistence is not just about surviving. It's about thriving. Keep going, and trust that every step you take brings you closer to the emotional mastery and success you deserve. What's one small thing you can do today to push through a challenge you're facing? Don't give up. Your breakthrough is just ahead. Thank you for watching. Remember, emotions are temporary, but your potential is limitless. Every day gives you the chance to master your emotions and step closer to becoming your best self. So stop being a victim of your emotions. Take charge and start writing your own life's script today. Take small steps, stay persistent, and keep growing. Your masterpiece awaits, and all it takes is the courage to step forward and make it happen. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more motivational content. And be sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Keep growing, keep striving, and remember, you're in control of your story.